Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I want to talk about motivation and, why people might feel like they're stuck somewhere. So there's this metaphor that I used to use when talking about this when I was younger, um, where there's this desolate wasteland, and then there's this dark tunnel filled with like horrible things, spiders, um, ghosts, God knows what else. Could just be anything. All your worst phobias. Just picture that. And it's long and dark. You can't see a thing. It's like you don't even see the light at the end. You have to really be deep in there in order to make it to a point where you can see the light at the end. But on the other side of that tunnel is paradise. It's something that you would want. So if you think of this situation, there's a lot of ways to sort of play with this metaphor here. The first is that you could say, why wouldn't you want to go to paradise? Wouldn't risking going in a dark cave be better than just resigning yourself to the wasteland? Wouldn't you rather die trying to get to the paradise than just accept that you're going to spend the rest of your life in a wasteland? And I would think, yeah, that does make sense, but what if you don't know that there's a paradise? What if you've been told, but you don't have proof? You know, what if you're afraid that by going through the cave, you might accidentally take a wrong turn and end up somewhere totally unknown and totally different? What if you just are afraid that you'll get lost in the cave or killed in the cave? There could be a million things going through your head that make the idea of turning around and going back to the devil you know, the familiarity of the wasteland, sound way more appealing than continuing and trying to get to paradise. So this is not something that we really think about. It's like your body's way of protecting you, because even if you know in your head intuitively that getting to the other side of that cave is a good thing, your body is going to try to protect you from potential danger. So it will send you, fear signals and make you want to turn around. Sort of like climbing a mountain, and then it becomes so much easier to just go back down and just, not keep pushing and using all that energy. So it's just your body's way of protecting you, but you got to override it. So I guess the question is how. Well, that's different for everyone, obviously, but the best generic advice that I could give is with the cave metaphor. You want to make sure that you are, even though it's a dark cave, you are beyond the option of turning around. You know that where you just came from is definitely not where you want to be. And you know that by panicking and turning around, you're never going to get anywhere else. So the only thing that you can do by that point is let go and let your intuition take over. That will shine a little light and tell you which step to take in the tunnel. One, step at a time. You'll see a step, you'll take it. Next one will light up and you'll take it. Just kind of one thing at a time. And when you block that out and you start panicking and overthinking, you might find yourself taking some missteps. But your your little that still small voice, your inner, higher mind, whatever you want to call it, it's there still if you tune into it, and it will give you a little bit of a light so that you can see your way through the tunnel. And whatever comes about in the tunnel, you'll get through it. It is going to be worth it. And when you make it to that paradise, you're going to be so glad that you didn't just give up and turn around, or just, cave. Literally in the cave, just cave and like fall on the ground, cover your head, and just, you know, cry on the ground like a baby and just say, I can't do this, I can't do this. It's a great disservice to yourself. You deserve better than that. And my previous upload, I talk a lot about self-love, and I think that that video would be helpful if you struggle to believe that you're deserving of paradise, that maybe you feel like you are not going to be supported by anyone, by the universe, by your friends, your family. That your journey is somehow, someone's against you, and some greater power is trying to stop you, or is just not going to help you at all. and leave you to be completely on your own and shit out of luck, and you're not going to be able to get to where you want to be because the odds are stacked against you. But if you believe that you're deserving of that and that you are being supported in it, you'll be able to see all of the support that's there. That's where that light comes from, and then you're able to get through the tunnel to the other side. So make sure that no matter what you do, no matter what you believe, no matter how what your faith is in or whatever, that you go in that tunnel and you do not think of turning around as an option, no matter what. I don't care if you've got a million bats coming after you. I don't care if you think that you turned the wrong way. If you can turn back around to where you made that wrong turn in the fork in the tunnel, that's fine. But don't go out of the tunnel to where you originally started, because that should not even be an option in your head. And if you do, make sure you go right back in. It's okay to take a little rest. It is okay. Don't judge yourself for panicking. I think let's say that you do turn around and you go back, then you're going to start beating yourself up and saying, oh, I'm bad at this. I'm never going to do it. I can't even I'm just going to do the thing. I did the thing that he said not to do. You know what I mean? Like, you just start, that inner voice starts yelling at you, feeling, shaming you, making you feel like you're bad and you're useless and you can't do anything. That goes back to what I was saying before, believing that you're not supported. Never let that go. It's a matter of how much you believe in yourself and how much you believe that you are worthy of getting what you want. And when are so hard on yourself that you say things like that, you feel like just by, like you failed and it means that you are a failure. No, it just means that you failed. But try again. Doesn't mean you are a failure. You're only a failure if you believe that about yourself, if you just give up completely. So don't do that to yourself. You can decide what you want to be. You can decide what you are. I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. I know I did in another take, but I started over because I don't know what I said. But I just want to get this out of the way. My favorite comedian, George Carlin, talked about motivation in one of his shows, and I just thought his thoughts on that were really funny. I'm gonna try my best to do an impression. He said, "The people who are motivated are the ones causing all the trouble. Stock swindlers, serial killers, child molesters, Christian conservatives. These people are highly motivated. You show me some lazy guy lying around watching game shows and stroking his penis. I'll show you someone who's not causing any trouble." I think it's true that if the people who were causing all the trouble suddenly decided to just lose all of their motivation and not leave the house, yeah, maybe the world would be a better place. But the problem is that those people are never going to just stop. Sometimes it feels like, what do they say? The wicked get no rest, something like that. It just feels like those people are constantly going, and that is all the more reason for people who are actually, who have good intentions to just keep trying and try to combat that as much as they can. So, yeah, make sure that you are not hard on yourself. There's no such thing as loving yourself too much. I think that the people who we perceive as loving themselves too much actually don't love themselves enough. There is a little bit of disrespect to themselves in the way that they behave. There is a healthy level of shame in acknowledging when you've hurt someone, like a little toddler having a temper tantrum in public. It is healthy to feel ashamed and embarrassed after doing that, because you are better than that. And if you really loved yourself, you wouldn't do that to yourself. You wouldn't try to put yourself in a situation where you're acting like you need to be the center of attention and like you can't handle whatever's being said to you. Like, your parent says no and you get mad because you wanted it to be a yes. And instead of, doing the self-respecting thing of just saying, it's okay, I can handle it, I'll survive, and I don't want to be rude. I don't want to inconvenience someone else. I don't want to make someone else feel like they have to be my servant when, and I don't owe them anything back. That is a healthy way of thinking. And unfortunately, a lot of parents nurture the unhealthy way of thinking by indulging tantrums and, or ignoring them, just not just letting it go unaddressed, and not really just, someone to give a firm idea that there's still going to be trust and care. In the same way that it's disrespectful for you to allow yourself to act like that, if you're a child and you're, too young to take care of yourself, you're in someone else's care, and they're allowing you to act like that, it's them who's disrespecting you at that point. And that is not good. If your parents are indulging that, that's like being spoiled, and you may look at someone who's spoiled and say they love themselves too much, but it's actually that they weren't given enough genuine love and compassion. They were enabled, which is not love. That actually comes from fear. The parent just is afraid to deal with the reactions of the kid. They're afraid to give it the time and attention that it deserves. And the child is afraid of not getting what they want. And they will not even indulge that as an option. They're just like, nope, I have to get what I want. So there is a little bit of a lack of self respect in these people. So know that no matter what happens, you are not going to become a sociopath or a narcissist or any of the horrible things that can come from that by loving yourself too much. There's no such thing as too much. If you really love yourself enough, you'll be able to face the things that you do that hurt other people and have a healthy shame for it, and then apologize and make it right. Um, and that is self-love. That's also love for other people, because I personally believe we're all kind of the same. It's all the same thing: loving yourself, loving other people. You can't have one without the other. And the same is true for judgment. When you judge yourself, you judge other people, and vice versa. So people who are cynical and judgmental are usually that way about themselves, because they're probably holding themselves to the same standards that they hold other people to. Even hypocrites who seem like they obey different rules than the rules that they hold everyone else to, those rules still exist in their head. And even if they don't follow them, there is a guilt in there somewhere that feels like they are, um, that they're aware that they're being defiant. It's, sometimes it does genuinely come from ignorance. Some people just are not given the education that they need, which isn't really their fault per se, but it does still make them a problem, because empathy and compassion are not learned. You have it from birth. So you can't blame a lack of those things on ignorance, but some of the specifics can be blamed on ignorance, just not the core of it, which is, heart. So it all stems from immaturity and fear, and it is your own decision. You can't just say, well, it's my circumstances. Yeah, your circumstances certainly didn't help you, but you still made the decision to ignore your empathy and compassion for something more fearful and selfish. So I know that that's a whole other concept. It would take me a while to explain. I went a little more in depth in my previous upload, but yeah, that I think is worth watching, because it is related. It's all connected. So this topic is just about making sure that you aren't going to turn around in the cave. If there's something that you want, go after it. Don't just give up. Um, and always keep empathy and compassion and self-love and self-respect at the forefront. So hopefully this helps. I can only hope. I don't really know if anybody's even going to watch this. Um, but I'm going to keep trying anyway, because it certainly couldn't hurt to just put this out there. Maybe even just one person will see it and it'll mean something to them. Then it was worth doing. Have a great rest of your day or night, and you'll see me next time you decide to watch one of my videos, I guess. Excuse me. For reference, I upload on this channel on Mondays and Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And on my other channel, which I'll put a link to in the description, I upload on Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And I do live streams on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I've been trying to be more active on that channel this week, just kind of going crazy. Having a little bit of a manic episode of just like feeling more motivated than I have been, which is why I decided to do this topic. and it does feel a little bit manic. I'm like very excited and not able to get my mind off of it. I hardly got any sleep, just like posting more than I have in a long time and trying to do comedy, which I haven't done in a while, but it is part of my personality. Um, I've just been a little too serious, but I think I miss comedy, so you can get some laughs from my other channel, hopefully. Um, yeah, thank you for watching, and leave a like and a comment and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 50 subscribers. I really appreciate every subscription and every comment. It's always great to hear feedback. Have a great rest of your day or night, and thank you for watching. I know I said that already, but I'll say it again.